Hi everyone, I'm Kate, the founder of Softschool Educational Project. In this video, we'll learn the 3ds Max interface, find out what this panel is for, and I'll show you how to customize your workspace. We'll also cover setting up the scene undo and auto backup and set the system units. There are time codes below the video for your convenience. Subscribe to our channel for more updates, like it, and join us on Patreon for even more valuable 3ds Max content. You'll find the link in the video description. Learn easily with Softschool. So let's get started. At the first launch of the program, you'll have a welcome window. So that it doesn't open every time, click this checkbox. This is the interface of the program. It's very extensive, as 3ds Max is a multifunctional program which is used by a variety of specialists in the industry. Here you can create visualization, develop animations, characters, and much more. In our school, we'll get acquainted with the tools necessary to create interior and exterior visualization, so we won't need some of the tools and panels in our work. Okay, let's take a look at the main panels of the interface. The first area is the menu bar. File tab. This is the standard file menu. Here you can open a new file, save, import external data, or export your scene. The Edit, Tools and Group tabs contains tools for working with objects. Views. Here you can find everything related to displaying objects in the viewport. Create. Here you can find all the elements that you can create in 3ds Max. They are categorized for your convenience. Modifiers. Here are all the modifiers. They allow to change the properties of objects or add new ones. Animation and graph editors. Tabs necessary for working with animation. We won't cover them for now. Renderings. Everything that relates to rendering, launching in, setting, etc. In the Customize tab, we can personalize the interface and configure hotkeys. From the Scripting tab, we install and run scripts. Scripts are mini programs that optimize, speed up, or add some new features to 3ds Max. Content tab. From here you can access the Autodesk App Store. Substance tab and Civil View. Separate program to optimize your work in 3ds Max. Arnold is a render engine used for full-length animation needs. And the Help tab, in case you have questions about 3ds Max. We'll use most of the necessary tools by launching them from panels or using hotkeys. But the menu bar is an important panel that we will refer to from time to time. The next area is the main toolbar. I'll now show you the main tools that we will use here. Undo and redo buttons, object selection buttons, move, rotate, and scale tools, coordinate system selection buttons, snap buttons, object mirroring and alignment buttons, scene and layer explorers, ribbon panel shortcut button, material editor, render setup. It's also worth noting that some buttons have an arrow at the bottom right. This means that by long pressing this button, we can see additional options for this tool. Viewport layout tabs. Here we can customize the viewport's appearance by selecting the number of viewports you want to use. Scene Explorer. This panel will display all the elements in the scene. Here you can quickly find the desired object by name or category search. Time Slider and Animation Control Panel. These panels are used for working with animation. Status Bar. Coordinate and Isolation Panels. Navigation Bar includes buttons for navigating in the viewport, but we will use hotkeys. Viewports. Main workspace. Command panel. Combine all the tools necessary for creating and editing objects. Now that we have figured out what each panel is for, we can customize the workspace and remove all the unnecessary items. This is especially important if you work using low-resolution monitors. All panels can be moved as we like. To do this, we need to click this area and drag it to another place. Or we can right-click this area and use the checkbox to open or to close the windows you need. Firstly, hide the ribbon panel. It's located here. It contains a lot of tools for complex polygonal modeling and won't be useful for us for the time being. Hide the time slider. It won't be useful for us either. Viewport layout is usually customized at the beginning and there is no need to keep the panel open all the time. I keep 4 working fields. This option is the most convenient for me. We'll talk more about this when we will discuss the topic of working in viewports. In order to keep your scene organized, I recommend using the Layer menu instead of Scene Explorer. So let's close this panel, open the Layer menu and move it around. I'm comfortable with it being right here, next to the Command panel. I place it this way and expand the Command panel a little bit for easy use. This way, I always have access to the list of objects when I need it and save space on the left side. Great! We have finished customizing the panels. Now let's configure a few more parameters. Open the Customize, Preferences, customize the number of undo scenes. I recommend setting the value to around 300. A too high value will make your scene file heavy. This will negatively affect the time of autosave. Continue by going to the File tab and set up an auto backup. Make sure that the checkbox is active. We need to set the number of scenes to be saved and the time interval for saving them. I recommend setting the number of backups from 5 to 10, depending on the amount of space available on your hard disk. Set the backup interval of 15 minutes. Thus, 3ds Max will create 5 autobacks of your scene and then start overwriting them. Click OK to save the change. The last thing to do is to customize the units in the scene. Again, open the Customize tab, Unit Setup. Click System Unit Setup. Here we set what will be equal to 1 unit. I work in the metric system of measurements, so I am using millimeters. Click OK. Next, you can choose in what units 3ds Max will display all numerical values. I set millimeters too. Click OK and done. This completes the configuration of the basic parameters, and next I'll show you how to work with objects in viewports. So, if you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up. Leave your comments below and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Also, don't forget to check out our Patreon, link in the description, for even more useful and interesting content. Goodbye and see you in our next video.